Welcome and aloha. This is the Digital Micro Trading Journal channel. I'm Digital Micro, your host, and we're day trading for ROI. No trade recommendations, just a trade journal. And here we are, prep for May 2nd, 2022. And the theme here is not just prepping for the new month and the new day and week, but embracing the grind. So I want to focus on the mindset one has, because grinders, I'll go to one of the movies I watched recently, Rounders, circa 1998, about a poker player. One of the characters, I think his name was Knit. The guy was divorced, child support, bills to pay, and he wasn't going for, as a poker player, the big jackpots or the big killing. He was grinding out small wins on a regular basis, lots of grinding, and he was a survivor. He had 15 years under the belt of experience, and some of the younger players looked up to him. The non-grinders, the guys that flamed out, burned out, and weren't successful, were not grinders. But trading is a good example where you can find grinders, where day in and day out the consistency is there. And I want to go over levels, so let's talk about this a little further. Ultimately, if you're day trading, you're making a lot of small transactions. They're frequent. You're in, you're out, you're long, you're short, and you add up at the end of the month, end of the week, end of the day with ROI, return on investment. Hopefully you have ROI. And the idea here is, on a monthly basis, you're paying out to your account, because it's not a business until you pay some of this ROI out so you can pay some bills, and the almighty cash flow, multiple income streams. So day trading should always be thought of as an income stream, and hopefully it's just one of several. You don't want to have, in my opinion, day trading to be the sole income stream, but absolutely it has a place on a portfolio of income streams. So that's the perspective there. I want to go now to talking about 3 levels of ROI that I'm going to shoot for in May. So these levels are dynamic, and one day I may be at a base level or struggling at a base level, and day 2 or week 2 or the end of the month, I could be just hitting it and I'd be at a very advanced level. So just walk through it. Base level is just like the Warren Buffett rule number 1, don't lose. Take it one day at a time and try not to have a losing day where you lose money day trading. So in this kind of market with high volatility, people that are passively invested in mutual funds right now, they're taking a hit. But active day traders, they're taking action. They're making sure to get into cash frequently, and they're taking setups. They absolutely have a day trading checklist. They're not going to get involved unless the checklist requirements are fulfilled. So base level, don't lose money. Intermediate level, you're shooting for 50 to 75 basis points a day. So if you can do that 20 days a month, that's, you're coming in at 10 to 15% return on investment, ROI. And of course, the advanced level is someone who is going north of 100 basis points. Now, I don't hear anybody on Twitter, you name the social media channel, no one's really talking about this because it's super personal, number 1. And number 2, you're going to be at a base level or worse sometimes, and some of the time you'll be at intermediate, and the other times you could be advanced, because markets are dynamic and setups that work today may not work tomorrow. You always need to iterate. You need to understand what's working, what's not going to work. But again, it's good, since we're starting a new week, a new month, to just look back on how we did in March, and April, which is going to have no basis at all on how we plan for May. So let's get to the charts and go over where we're at on the M2k, S&P, and Bitcoin. It's been a while since I looked at the Bitcoin monthly chart in the journal. And again, just to give the background, this is not a day trade for me. I just have a very small, less than 3% allocation for long-term hold purposes. So I'm a hodler. And look here at the red arrow. This is where we ended for April. So not too impressive. We're below the anchored VWAP for 2022, 2021. And from the peak of last November, we are nowhere. Nothing impressive here. We didn't violate the green bar. We're nowhere near the highs of last fall. So what I'm thinking here, I'm not really going to be buying more and upping my percent allocation at this point, but I'm super happy to hold. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin in general, and I am going to accumulate over time. And right now, I'm just going to probably wait till more like September, October, November for the next dollar cost average. So that's where we are on Bitcoin. Let's go to the next chart, the S&P micros. All right, so here's what we've got. We've got the year-to-date ending here on the last trade here right around April, with that blue dot being the anchored VWAP for Friday. Friday was real ugly for a lot of people, and again, we closed right at this lower Bollinger Band. So just look at where we've been for this year. March was definitely my worst performing month, and look at why. We just totally had this face rip up above this red middle Bollinger Band, and we hung out here before piercing back down quite a number of days. So it was pretty amazing, that face rip rally. But what I'm thinking of right here is the volume. There's no nothing climactic about the lows here that we've hit on the S&P 500 with huge volumes. So I'm thinking here, based on earnings on some of the biggest blue chips like Netflix, Amazon getting super slammed with double-digit losses, that the pain's not over for the year. If we are in bear market territory, we could be in this for another quarter or two at least. It's all going to be about the market environment, earnings, and how adaptive some of these big blue chips are going to be. But anyway, that's just a gander at the S&P 500. Let's go to the next chart. I'm an M2k Russell 2000 micro trader, and this is where we are here. We've made new lows. We're totally in bear market on the Russell 2K, and again, a mudslide down on this bloodbath with lower Bollinger Bands. I think about 6 days. We'll take on the next chart a look at that. So again, I'm not prognosticating any future of up or down direction. I take each day as it comes, how it trades, but I always, at the beginning of a new month and a new week, want to look at the daily chart here. So let's take a more of a larger view of just the last 6 days of the M2K. So for my day trading prep for May 2nd, this would be, I start with this. This is the basic foundation of what I'm going to build Monday. And Mondays are so important to start off right. And as you can see, it's all about the close on Friday. This kind of bearish engulfing just took away all the Thursday gain. And I can understand who's going to want to hold over the weekend where we're, got problems in Ukraine and Russia, in Europe. That's going on. We've got inflation. Who knows what could happen over the weekend? So my opinion here is, looking at the volume bars, this wasn't overwhelming volume red. So again, nothing climactic. It could still go, but we've got this trend here. We've got 6 times tagging this lower Bollinger Band. And so I'm basically doing the grind, embracing the grind every day. I'm looking at where we are on the anchored VWAP. That denotes here this blue dot. And when we open Monday, Globex, I'll be looking for the 2-bar anchored VWAP as my base indicator. and measuring above and below that for potential setup trades. And then I'll go down to, again, my bread and butter 120-minute, and then go down to maybe the 3-minute and the 30-second on order flow basics. But again, this is the wheelhouse chart of the big macro picture. And again, bears in control. Look how far up this middle Bollinger Band is. So 1985, and we are well below 100 points below at the lower here. We closed at 1864. So I'm going to really be thinking about this and studying this, and memorizing it, and then based on that and how we open. Again, the time zone pivots for Monday are 3 major pivots before the RTH Open, and that is Asia Globex Open, Asia Globex Close, Europe Open, and pre-RTH Open. And those are the most volume points of where I'm going to be looking to do potential setup based on trade location. That's all I've got. If you've enjoyed this video, please support the channel, hit the like and subscribe. And thank you for those of you that are return subscribers. Aloha and take care. Bye.